It's recording.
Oh, you're already recording.
Gotcha. Chris just showed me some photos from back in the early days. I think we'll have to post a couple.
Could have had a ponytail.
Could have had a ponytail. I'm starting to get one again. Here we go. Not you. No, it's going to be a while. But anyways, this week, I looked at all the 50 different states, who's freeing up. Looks like May 1st, April 30th. People will start to at least go back to work, maybe the first tranche of essential workers. I would anticipate orthopedic OEMs heading back into the office, continuing projects, moving things forward, even orders for reorders and that sort of thing. But April 30th, May 1st, what do you think? I think that's going to be the day people start to trickle back in, or are you going to go longer?
I was super on top of all the COVID stuff when it first started.
I called you for questions.
Yeah, like maybe 3 weeks in.
Yeah.
But like now I've kind of fallen off the update train. But I have heard people talking about how it's going to be like a slow rollout.
Yeah.
To they're not just going to like flip the light switch, but I think that people are eager to have human contact.
I think it's also like people are starting to realize, hey, I'm going back to work here.
Yeah.
At some point in the next 2 to 4 weeks, and I got about 2 to 4 weeks to make up for work.
Yeah, and I was listening to a podcast, and the guy was having people tested before they could come into the rest of the building, like by a doctor. But then like they bro hugged it up and did all that, and the guest was like, "Man, I haven't hugged anybody in like a month."
Wow.
So he was like, it felt weird, but it felt good. Human contact.
Yeah. Even this, this is weird, being so close. We're not allowed. Garrett would yell at us, so that's why we're in here. But we've actually been relatively healthy. I don't know if it's either go down one path, everyone shuts down, but everyone seems to be, of course, everyone's just going here. But sometimes in the spring, you start getting people with allergies, they get sick, there's another flu hit.
I had migraine once.
Yeah, I think we've been really blessed here. Actually made 2 new hires in the process just to keep up. And, the business we're all in, it's not going to stop. People are still going to need implants, anything that wasn't emergent will become. We talked about that last time. So it's awesome to be here and to be that critical and to be a part of something that inevitably is going to help people's lives. I don't know.
I think is the best thing coming out of all of this. It's not a good thing, clearly, but manufacturing is like getting its street cred back.
Yeah.
It's like everybody's going, how do we make things?
Yeah.
And manufacturing is like, we all have always made things.
It's like, here, make it.
Watch
We need masks, make them.
Yeah. And just everybody's like, that's easy. Watch this.
Yeah.
We'll use all the tools we already have, and it'll take us 2 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah, you're seeing a lot of people just kind of come to it, or just not even anything related to COVID, but think of, getting milk into bottles and everything else that needs to make the world turn, all the food going to the grocery store, all the items that people just still need in their everyday lives. There's a lot of, when you look at everything is manufactured, right? There's a lot of influence and it's like we forgot, but there has been, with this, there's been a lot of, we're not slow, but we've had opportunity to really focus on internally. What kind of positive would you bring out of this for something that you kind of see, participated in, improvement? What are you bringing out of this that was better than before we went in it?
Here, tangible or
tangible and personally too?
Well, in general, in the U.S., you can feel people wanting to. There's a strong desire from the public to bring the manufacturing and everything. There was that big outsourcing fad that was just kind of big corporate. It's this painted picture to the public of big giant corporations opening a plant in Mexico because they could pay Mexicans $1 an hour, whatever the perception is of everybody. That's not the case necessarily, but now everyone's like, why aren't we doing that here? Because those are all now essential businesses. And people are realizing like how much glory there is actually in making things.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel so much like an old thing that robots can do now.
Right.
Because it's not.
Right. Right. Yeah, and everyone looks at robotics like it's going to be this game changer when in reality you still need minds to program the robot and for what it to do, what application is it being applied to. The robot's not going to tell a robot how to do the robot's job.
Not yet.
Not yet. We could just be robots ourselves. We don't realize it. Where a robot is telling us how to do all this.
Yeah. Have you seen those Boston Dynamics robots?
Yeah. The kids love them.
Is it Boston Dynamics or General? It's Boston Dynamics.
Yeah.
They like try to kick them over, and they just are walking. They have some that like wear army uniforms and perspirate, like so that they can see what long-term sweat does to like military uniforms and shit like that.
Wow.
So yeah, they like try to kick them over, and they just keep walking.
Seen the one with Kevin. Was it when he walked with the robots getting kicked around? And he like goes and knocks over the coffee, and the guy with the hockey stick keeps pushing the box away.
Oh, I've seen that.
It's a voiceover
the robot.
lady.
I haven't seen that, but I know what you're talking about. Where like it's cussing out the dude, but it just keeps picking up the box.
Yeah, knocking it out of his hands.
Hit it out of his hands. He's not frustrated at all. It just goes and picks it back up.
Picks it up, walks away. But yeah, that's a good one. Trying to think what else we had going on really this week. I think what about personally? I think for me, I've been reading a little bit more. We've gotten into some of the business books that you and I have been looking at. Which one I'm probably a little bit further behind on. But yeah, I think reading books, take a little bit of slowdown. It's nice when you go home at night. There's no pressure to go anywhere. Kids have been pent up all day. But
I've been enjoying that too, aside from not being able to like go to a gym. I do a lot better when I'm lifting around people or exercising around people than when I'm like just in the shop by myself lifting,
it is nice though having them.
Yeah, having that outlet is great.
We do have a weight room in the back. We've kind of all contributed to it, and I really like that we have that, because being a contract manufacturer of orthopedics, we want to be in good physical performance ourselves. I think it's important for people to be fit, and ever since people started to work out, you kind of see this trickle effect through. People tend to, there's a little bit of excitement. Everyone's learning about muscle groups and body and form and all that stuff. But yeah, I think the yoga studio.
Oh yeah. Still been doing some yoga at home because they're doing a live stream, which that's another cool thing that people are getting used to, that like society kind of shoved us into, was like better get used to video chatting people.
Right.
And like, so a lot of people hadn't figured it out or hadn't had to, and now we kind of have to. So
my mom's done
audits,
like a bunch of video conferences with her friends. She's probably done more video conferences drinking wine than not.
Yeah, I talked to my in-laws on the video conference, and like rarely talk to them just on the phone, but like just seeing them. That everybody's enjoying seeing people and faces.
It's fun to see the smile. Yeah, I'm doing one Sunday night with some friends from college, and we had a big trip planned. Obviously, that was canceled, but seeing everybody, and it was kind of nice because there was a delay. You had to pause, you're on videos, all this technical stuff. And so everyone's really listening. And then really, it's kind of nice. You're going around the room and everyone's getting an opportunity to speak, because like once they're into a story, no one wants to interrupt, and everyone lets that story go. And it's really, I think, allowing us to practice better listening to one another, even when we're in here. We've been talking about that lately, just listening to one another and having an opportunity to understand what they are communicating at a deeper level, to open and build that trust. So.
Yeah, that's true. Like on conference calls in general, it can become kind of a cluster when somebody starts talking, or there's like a weird pause, and then somebody, that happens. They're just like, no,
go ahead.
No, you go.
Go
ahead.
Uh-huh.
And then everybody waits. So we've had to get better at that. And the same thing is true for video.
Yeah.
It's really funny.
Conference calls have gotten a lot better.
Yeah.
We're getting a lot more practice.
Yeah. People know like when to break and let one person talk.
Yeah.
Let another person talk.
Two.
Instead of just like talk. And that's probably just a way people have conversations too, is like when you're discussing something back and forth, sometimes like the conversation can go really fast. It's just two people standing in front of each other.
Right.
But like with a conference call, you have to wait for a response.
Yeah.
Or like provide pauses for somebody to pipe up with a question instead of just going on a 10-minute rant.
Right.
Because you can't just be like, there's no like body language.
Well, yeah, because the practice was not that. You know, if you typically have a meeting, it's with your group internally, even on a conference call, you're looking at the physical cues from those around you, not necessarily being able to communicate.
Yeah, because I'm big, like I'm.
Yeah.
I don't
even
like
video. You putting your finger up, like they can see that, you know, and I think that is pretty cool. And there's a little bit of like everyone's getting more comfortable with just instead of defaulting to a conference call, there's a little bit of a shift over to a video call. Like that's a new norm, to a video call. And I think it's really important, especially if we're building these relationships and in the business that we're all in. We really got to be able to see each other. There's a lot of trust. Everyone's got skin in the game. It's good to have that, you know, tones. I do think tones can be misunderstood with just a phone call, not being able to see those like physical cues of the eyes or whatever it is, you know, and help better communicate, move projects forward. But
it's been cool.
It has been cool.
It's definitely like a new business development thing.
Yeah, it is. I think with the conferences, like the conferences being canceled for us is not a big deal. We've never made our money through conferences. We've been going lately. It's great. We to see our network. That's really important. Shake hands, and you know, I mean, a lot of the work is still being done outside of the conference, and so to show up at a conference to shake hands and have maybe not as deep of a conversation, but you're still having the same type of conversation over the phone or video conference, and we're not necessarily have always been relying on that, and have an opportunity to really take the pressure off, getting ready for the shows and getting to them and the spend out and all that stuff.
Well, I think it's got people thinking too, why are we still doing that when we can do this?
Right.
It at least has everyone asking the question.
Yeah.
Whether or not we go back to that, and like that's still like the primary mode of like business development, or like just trade shows in general are a nice way for consolidation of services to be offered in one place, for someone to be able to walk the floor and see all their options, is still probably appealing to most people.
You're calling of the herd a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, some most relevant conferences will grow, and the ones that are not so relevant will probably die.
So like, I think that people will kind of apply a new filter that they weren't applying before, whereas like normally it was like, yeah, we go to this conference every year, we're just going to go and have a presence there instead of
just because the pandemic will be declared over or restrictions lifted, that doesn't mean company policies are going to change to send their employees out to these conferences even a year from now. So we'll probably need to buckle up. I mean, not necessarily us, but like change your whole marketing strategy for a larger organization is going to be a lot more difficult than for smaller ones that, you know, for us spending a couple $100 a month here and there on, you know, various tools and tricks and trades that we have for our CRM and marketing is very easy to pivot and control, especially because our audience is so targeted and we're so focused. I think that's kind of for a lot of small businesses. You maintain a small targeted audience and continue to build relevancy in there through the output of good information. I think that really helps you grow your business, even in a pandemic, because people still need stuff. There are still going to be all sorts of things desired in life. We just will have to shift the way we deliver those, especially things like, I don't know, balloon house or something like that for a birthday party. I mean, you know, that's probably a bad example, but I'm just thinking things that maybe aren't, you know, an implant obviously is critical, very relevant, but people are still going to want to live their life and do nice things. And some of those things aren't necessarily readily available, but how we deliver those in the future, including implants, and our message is going to be changed. I think we're actually well positioned to do that because we've always done grassroots.
Yeah, I think we've been fortunate enough to not already be dug in to like any one certain method when it comes to marketing. So we just kind of get the word out as best we can and use social media when we can. And other than that, just kind of like let our reputation precede us.
Yep.
And it's going well. So
it's almost like you don't even think of putting energy towards reputation development as a marketing thing. When you're in the day, we're working, like, yes, we are thinking about our reputation and delivery of our product, but like, I don't know if we look at it enough or give it enough energy from a marketing standpoint. Like, that is very important. The reputation, just that alone is marketable. And I think that's why we put a lot of emphasis on that here.
Yeah.
And get that out. So anyways, that was a good wrap. Yeah. Jaw jack, keep going. It's Friday. Depending on the weather, I might try to do a fire tonight.
It's gonna snow.
It's gonna snow.
Yeah, it's supposed to.
My kids will probably still want to do a fire. So as soon as I get home, we're gonna go put our mask on. We're gonna go to Kroger and get marshmallows. That's my Friday night. What about you?
I feel like I had something planned, but I don't know. I have a really hard time with like personal schedule. I just kind of like float around and just do whatever my wife said we had planned.
And now there's nothing planned.
Yeah, because at work,
the default is I don't know, something's planned.
Yeah, or not. Like the best thing that could happen is nothing. We just get to hang out at home and do nothing.
Yeah,
just chill.
You guys binging on any shows right now?
No, you know what? Well, we are watching a new season of Westworld, but which is crazy, and you should watch it if you get a chance. But we have been learning Spanish.
What up, Garrett?
Just to give a review. I didn't know if you were recording.
Yeah, we are.
Okay.
You're on.
Hey, everybody.
We'll get to this.
I was Garrett, Director of Quality, Tangible Solutions, #standard. So, Westworld.
Yeah. So we've been learning Spanish.
Oh, nice.
So I took quite a bit of Spanish in high school and some in college. And I started college with a Spanish minor.
Wow.
And then dropped it. Just because like I wasn't smart enough to do both.
Yeah.
Do engineering and Spanish and learn another language, but I've always wanted to. And she
was 18 years old. You could learn Spanish and engineering at the same time.
You
think it's because you were smart or just a lot of energy?
Yeah, or 19. Yeah, so I think I took a year's worth of like 3 or 4 classes in college.
I know that.
3 classes in high school, which like doesn't amount to a lot.
Right.
Now that I'm 33.
Out of practice.
Yeah. I
you ever in practice?
I remember quite a bit, but not. We've maybe been doing it for a couple of weeks now. Yeah. Basically every day.
That's cool.
And Rachel's doing it during the day, and I'm just like catching up because I know a lot of what she's already learning in the basics. And
what are you using, like Babbel or something?
No, Duolingo is like it's a really cool app.
That's interesting.
And then I've been listening to podcasts too in Spanish and just trying to like pick it up, but not all the time. So like maybe when I'm out to lunch, I'll listen to Spanish for 15 minutes.
Oh, nice.
And just somebody talking and try to pick up what they're saying.
Oh, that's really cool.
And I've always been that way where like I could get the gist of what people are trying to communicate, but I don't know every word they're saying, and I don't like. Sometimes I get confused if they talk too fast.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's something I'd like to chase around for a little while. Just like mentally stimulating instead of just like whatever channel surfing and binge watching. 15 hours of shows that aren't going to add value.
Absolutely.
And I think it's important to always be expanding like your knowledge base and becoming better at things, and as we just get old, just continue to be better instead of settling in and just getting comfy. And sometimes it's definitely ebbs and flows, but right now I'm like at the top.
It's like increasing your level of performance all through your life versus looking at life as the peak of your career and then walking.
Yeah, like a fitness thing too.
Like I want to be more physically fit at 50 than I was at 25.
Yeah, like I've
25 years to go.
pretty much been in shape, but this definitely has put a this whole thing has definitely put a damper on like what I would consider to be in shape for me, because I'm sure my lungs would die right now. Yeah, if I try to do anything crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's important.
That's cool. That's awesome. All right. Well, we're going to sign off. It's Friday. We're going to get back to work. It's great to thanks for everyone who popped back in. I hope you guys are having an excellent week.
We don't just get out of this. You have to say something you've been doing.
I've been running a lot. I bought a new pair of running shoes. And I just
How far are you?
Longest so far is about 8 miles. I got the half mile. Well, I had a half marathon coming up, but obviously that's been canceled, postponed. But there's a marathon, the Air Force Marathon, which if that's still on, game on. I haven't done a marathon in a long time.
Potentially canceled.
Yeah, it could be. But I've actually been looking at spending some of my spare time looking at like adventure races, trying to find one. There's one down in Red River Gorge that's basically like a rappel, mountain bike, canoe, trail run. I think that's it. But it's like a day event. Just a little bit of land nav in there.
Yeah.
There was a land nav event over in Columbus, but I haven't been able to find any recent information on it. It's basically a 24-hour land nav challenge.
That's cool.
And I'm sure it's a lot easier.
When you describe it, it sounds super nerdy to me, but it also sounds cool.
Yeah.
Like, you're like, yeah, dude, they just give you a map and you have to go find it.
You get a map, you get a compass, you gotta go find a white pole in the middle of the woods.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, just being an outdoorsman, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, so I thought it'd be cool, later in life to like maybe have some sort of like young men's boys, like as they're, like, hey, I've got
Boy Scouts.
Not necessarily Boy Scouts, but like not that level of commitment. That's a heavy commitment. We tried to do that. It was
My older brother was a scout, like troop leader.
It was a lot of commitment, but just something that would like maybe like a one-day event, father something, father daughter, whatever, to get out in the woods, learn land navigation and how to sharpen a knife, little things like that.
Yeah, that's cool.
I don't know if I'll ever do that outside of my own children.
What have you learned about running?
Oh,
You ran a lot in the Army.
I did run a lot in the Army.
Figure out new things.
I did. I figured out one thing I told you yesterday. As I was running, Chris and I have both been doing a lot of yoga, but I've been doing a lot of yoga, really understanding and activating new different muscle groups. And as I was running yesterday, I like to try to finish the last mile or so at my fastest pace, so I can kind of just give it all, no matter where I'm at, no matter how tired I am. That last bit, I can go hard, and I was able to like kind of activate these muscles in my abdomen area and kind of pull my hips. But they didn't go up, but they kind of came forward, and it gave me this little burst of energy where my posture was it felt perfect, and it really just helped me align my legs, and I was able to not necessarily just use straight energy, but go to a form and allow that form to take over and allow that energy output to be more efficient in the form. Now, it wasn't necessarily sustainable because I was really, kind of clinching up other areas, and it was to get to a higher level of speed, knowing that I had an end target that was not 10 miles out, but 1 mile out. So I think as you got to roll through life and try different techniques. On an 8-mile run, you're going to start off a little faster. You're going to slow down a little bit. You're going to take a hill differently, up and down, different terrain, potholes. You're going to shift your body all around. You're just going to get tired. You're going to change. You got to change things up. Really pull your body together and be mindful of it all. It's a constant thing. Just dialing it in as you're running. Like, oh, tired there. Oh.
Nice.
What was that?
I read that, we've been talking about how COVID's affecting healthcare and the FDA. I read this morning, 19 devices cleared in March, just in spine. Wow. Which is not like ultra high number, but
19?
Still 19.
Yeah.
Just in
Just
spine.
in spine. Interesting.
So,
We'll have to put that in the newsletter.
Yeah, big and small companies.
There are a lot of lists starting to come out. It's like, I mean, we're still operating, that quarterly thing where you start to see the marketing come out. Everything's still, there's an underlying movement of everything, and just a Acadian rhythm of life over the course of the year is still moving. Just people are kind of at home and we're seeing these things. I don't know if that's interesting. 19.
Yeah. Yeah, but that was a cool thing.
How many they do on average?
Usually, so I see the lists. I think it's on Ortho Spine News.
Yeah.
Generally monthly, but I feel like there are a handful of heavy months where there's like just in spine, like 40. So
we should back that out.
Definitely try and I'm sure we can find the data.
Yeah.
And it's publicly available on the UTA's website. So
that's what I'm saying. If it's available, I mean that would impact how we operate, where we need to plan. And, those are macro details to our micro, but it would definitely impact us.
Yeah, it's still happening. I mean, we're not
forecasting, looking ahead, like how do they trend? How do the OEMs trend? What do we need to be prepared in order to serve them better to get through with their goals? We see heavy clearances in third quarter, foreseeing heavy clearances in April, but that was March. So we're thinking of submissions in December. So most active prototyping months are just ahead of us.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see how the FDA handles the inevitable onslaught when, because typically the end of the year is heavy, right? Yeah. So at the beginning of the year, a lot of small, mid-sized companies, even the bigger ones probably set new goals for this year and saying, we want to clear XYZ products. And then they are in development. And then they get to the end of the year and they go, oh shit, we need to do our mechanical testing and clear and, get our clearance before the end of the year. We need to go through all of this in a hurry.
Yeah.
Generally what happens. So I think it's going to be worse now, clearly, because everybody's kind of like camel pace, slow going it, working from home,
Yeah.
We were talking about that earlier, how everyone working from home is probably like 2 hours max. Beyond that, it's like, I could get my laundry
and that's
done.
not
Nobody's even changing their clothes.
Yeah, that's not a degrading thing. It's just, I had to take 2 days off just to be with the kids. I mean, they've got school and there's distractions. It's not normal. People are expecting this to end.
It's hard to work from home, man.
It is hard.
You can't.
I know a lot of people are saying, hey, virtual environment, we're questioning. Yeah, I agree. There's probably a lot that is out there where people can work from home. But I think in a true collaborative environment where you're really driving towards a mission, people should want to come in.
Well, yeah, and we make things, so we have to be physically here to make. There's no robot floating around the floor pressing physical buttons on machines.
Yeah.
It's
even when I hear lights out, I'm like, it's not lights out completely.
Yeah, like still gotta babysit.
Well, who's turning on and off the light?
Yeah, so it's cool, but I'm sure a lot of things can be done from home, but it's probably more efficient. It's like I was saying earlier, I'm more productive when I change my clothes, go to a gym, and get the workout done with people around watching me, so I don't just screw around.
The intention is there.
Exactly, and you're like on your way there. You're like, I'm going to this place to do a thing. It's the same for work.
Well, the accountability is there too.
Also, accountability.
And not everybody needs it. Even Chris and I do. That's why we sit in the middle of the floor. We all just need it, keeping us accountable on our ideas, our action items that need to be completed. And people need leaders. They need people with them. And then like Chris said, this is not our environment. Like this environment is one where we need to be here, getting the work done. But even, for us, we don't touch everything, but if we work from home and while everyone was here,
dude, nothing would get done.
That's
not to say that anything about the people, but if nobody is here to guide things, then everything just kind of falls apart.
Right.
You can't be an absentee boss. And, you know, everyone hates their boss that's absent already.
Right.
Just imagine if they're not in the building because somebody realized from COVID-19 they could work from home.
Right.
You can tell people what to do over email, or you can call them. It's just not like you can't be absent and then just like expect to just throw commands out and people to follow them. There's definitely animosity.
I listen to a podcast, like our brains have not caught up to technology yet. Yes, we use it as a tool, but like we haven't caught up to it. So that human interaction is very important. That social connection and being able to like, again, like feel that energy as you're working through a project and get it to a successful point. It's very difficult. As ideas change and things, pivot, it's great to be in the same location side by side working through those projects. That's where you're going to have success. I think a lot of people who try to do virtual, who are not designed to be virtual, will fail.
Yeah.
And will leave an open opportunity. I see it.
Dude, that, like the thought of just like companies going out of business because they try to go digital or try to work from home is crazy to me. Yeah. But the businesses that do survive will be the ones that go, okay, this is not working, pivot, which is the answer to starting a successful business in the first place, right? So like we started out as more or less a job shop and pivoted to medical only 100%. That's all we do no matter what. Contract manufacturer.
Right.
And like now we have we're breeding some success. So if we hadn't done that, just dug our heels in, who knows where we'd be.
Right. I think we'd be gone.
Dude.
We'd be gone.
Yeah, for sure.
We'd be gone. Yeah. There's no way. And being in an industry that needs it too, it's critical. So.
But we're not out of business.
Well, we're not. We're here. We're working. It's awesome. So, anyways, you guys know us. We have a great time while we're here doing this stuff. So, if you guys got any questions, please leave some comments on the videos or the podcast, however you're listening to us. And have a great weekend.
See ya.
See ya.